Today, we are talking about no-mow ground covers. I'm gonna explain the importance of the many benefits that they can bring to the landscape. We're gonna look at 3 wonderful little ground covers, and I'm gonna tell you what my personal favorite is out of those 3. I do have a love for so many different ground covers, and for instance, these sedums right here, these are gorgeous, but they might not make the best selections for a lawn replacing ground cover, because if there's foot traffic, these little fleshy succulents are gonna crush under your feet. And the same for Gazanias. You know, I really do enjoy when they're in bloom, but they get a little bit too tall to be a steppable ground cover. So that's why we're looking at these other 3 ground covers that we're gonna talk about. All right, the first one we are looking at here is Dymondia. I love Dymondia. There's so many great qualities about it. I love the fact that it stays super low and compact, and it forms this really dense mat, and it can take some pretty decent foot traffic, even though it is technically a succulent. It can go in between those pavers and stepping stones. And Dymondia also goes really great in rock gardens as well. Now, this is only best in USDA zones 9 through 11, so not super wide geographically, but for those temperate climates, especially here in California, Dymondia is great and is super popular. And what's really cool is if you get a close-up on the leaf, it's got a beautiful silvery gray underside. That is the common name of this silver carpet. Dymondia is the botanical name. Now, it is very drought tolerant, but it needs very well-drained soils to thrive. It definitely does not like standing water. Give it a really good loamy mix, maybe throw some perlite in there so that water percolates down through nicely. A few other great things about Dymondia: it does get a cool little yellow flower, and it is also deer tolerant. So if you're in the warmer climates and you're looking for a really nice solid ground cover that forms a nice dense mat, can take some foot traffic, Dymondia is a pretty great choice. All right, next ones we're looking at here is the ever popular Irish moss and Scotch moss. Now, we're gonna do a little bit of a 2-for-1 because they're very close. They're very similar in growing attributes, just kind of some different coloration here. You have a darker one with the Irish moss and a much lighter, almost chartreusey color, very beautiful, with the Scotch moss. Now, these little ground covers are amazing. They stay really low to the ground, just a 2 to 3 inches max. And what I like about these, they can definitely take some foot traffic. So great for in between stepping stones. You can put them right in between pavers and walk right on them, no problem at all. And I do really like that they can also take kind of a partial shaded condition, and very geographically versatile, USDA zones 4 through 9. Moderate to regular watering scenarios, these will do great. Now, they do have a little tiny flower, very inconspicuous. They're really not noted for their flowering abilities. They're just noted for this beautiful, lush green and very soft texture. And it really pops up against a border with other shrubs and flowering perennials. So again, wonderful selection for a lawn replacing ground cover or in between pavers along a walkway. Very versatile plant. The third and final one, which, yes, happens to be my personal favorite out of these 3, is creeping thyme. Now, I want you guys to keep your eye out because I believe this is going to make its way into one of my own personal projects at home. It's gonna be pretty cool. Why is creeping thyme so amazing? Well, for one, it stays really low to the ground. And there are actually so many varieties of creeping thyme that stay low. There's pink thyme, there's woolly thyme, which is another fantastic one. Honestly, you can't go wrong. We all need more thyme, right? And Oh my gosh, it smells amazing. So if you are actually using this between stepping stones and kind of just catch your foot on it, it releases that amazing scent, and it's just a fantastic little ground cover. It is super drought tolerant, so it can actually take a little bit of neglect, which is fantastic. And it's really versatile geographically. USDA zones 4 through 9. So you can use it in so many areas and regions around the United States. Creeping thyme is a wonderful pollinator plant. It's going to attract helpful insects to the landscape. Brilliant little ground cover. Again, I can't wait to use this in one of my designs that is coming up. That wraps us up for No-Mow ground cover options. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, feel free to hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification so you know when the next video comes out. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. I'll see you on the next one. Stay rooted.